This billionaire built a mansion so massive it has its own power plant, but some say he paid for it by polluting entire towns. Today, we're diving into the wild, controversial life of Ira Rennert, a man who turned junk bonds into billions, bought the company that made Humvees, and sparked lawsuits that made global headlines. From Wall Street to one of the most polluted places on Earth, his story is unbelievable. Let's find out how he did it and what it cost. Ira Leon Rennert was born on May 31, 1934, in Brooklyn, New York, to a family of immigrant parents from Poland and Romania. Raised in a modest home, Rennert's early years were marked by the immigrant work ethic that would drive him throughout his life. Despite the humble beginnings, his parents emphasized education and hard work, qualities that would lay the foundation for his success. He graduated from Brooklyn College in 1954, and 2 years later, he earned his master's degree from the prestigious Stern School of Business at New York University. These academic achievements opened doors to Wall Street, where Rennert began his career as a credit analyst in 1956. The skills he honed on Wall Street and finance, combined with his sharp business acumen, would eventually become the cornerstones of his empire. However, his early career was not without its struggles. After launching his own business, I.L. Rennert & Co. in 1962, his ambitions were temporarily derailed. The National Association of Securities Dealers, NASD, censured Rennert for operating with insufficient capital, an issue that would reoccur and lead to the revocation of his license in 1964. This setback, though significant, was not enough to stop Rennert. Instead, it marked the beginning of a new chapter in his life, one that would eventually define his rise to billionaire status. In 1975, Ira Rennert founded the Renco Group, a privately held investment holding company. Known for its investments in industrial and manufacturing companies, Renco's ascent was swift and calculated. The backbone of Rennert's strategy was a bold move into the high-stakes world of junk bond financing. Leveraging high-yield, high-risk bonds, Rennert began acquiring undervalued and struggling companies, turning them into profit machines through his meticulous approach to financial restructuring. One of his most notable early acquisitions was AM General, the maker of the famous Humvee military vehicle, which he purchased in 1992. Despite paying only $10 million as a down payment, Rennert's keen eye for opportunity turned AM General into a significant player in the automotive and defense sectors. The success of AM General was a testament to Rennert's ability to foresee potential in distressed assets and transform them into profitable enterprises. Rennert's acquisition strategy relied heavily on debt financing, but he ensured that profits flowed back to his holding company, Renco Group. Over the years, Renco subsidiaries borrowed over $1 billion, with significant portions paid as dividends to the parent company. Backed by mutual funds and hedge funds, Rennert minimized personal financial risk while maximizing returns, allowing him to amass his fortune with a combination of audacity and precision. One of Rennert's most controversial acquisitions was the Dough Run Company, a lead smelting business he purchased from Fluor Corporation in 1994. At its peak, Dough Run was the world's largest producer of lead, with extensive operations in Missouri and Peru. However, Dough Run's environmental record cast a shadow over Rennert's business empire. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, Dough Run faced numerous lawsuits and fines related to environmental damage caused by its operations, particularly at its lead smelter in Herculaneum, Missouri, and La Arroya, Peru. Both locations were listed among the most polluted places in the world, and public health crises, especially among children, were linked to the company's operations. Rennert's other key acquisition, U.S. Magnesium, similarly faced environmental scrutiny. Acquired in 1989, the company was cited for violating hazardous waste laws by the Environmental Protection Agency, and at one point, U.S. Magnesium was listed as one of the top 10 polluters in the United States. While Renco invested heavily in mitigating environmental impacts over time, reducing emissions by 97% in some cases, the damage had been done. For many, Rennert's success story was marred by his company's environmental legacies. And despite legal victories, the public perception of Rennert as a businessman was inextricably tied to these controversies. As Rennert's wealth grew, so did his taste for opulence. In the 1990s, he began constructing what would become one of the most iconic symbols of extreme wealth in America, Fairfield Pond. Situated on 63 acres in Sagaponack, New York, the mansion is one of the largest private residences in the United States, boasting 29 bedrooms, 39 bathrooms, a 91-foot-long dining room, and amenities that include a basketball court, a bowling alley, and a private power plant. The scale of the estate sparked controversy, with locals and media alike deriding it as excessive. Initially accused of planning to turn the mansion into a hotel or religious retreat, Rennert refuted the allegations, maintaining that it was solely for private use. The house, estimated to be worth nearly $200 million, remains a focal point in the discussion about wealth inequality and the visible excesses of the super-rich. However, Fairfield Pond was more than just a symbol of personal indulgence. It also became embroiled in a legal dispute involving Renco's subsidiary, Magnesium Corp., which filed for bankruptcy in 2001. Plaintiffs alleged that Rennert siphoned money from the company to fund the construction of his estate, a claim that would haunt Rennert through years of litigation. While much of the public discourse surrounding Rennert has focused on his businesses and wealth, there is another side to him, one marked by philanthropy and commitment to Jewish causes. A deeply devout man, Rennert has donated generously to Jewish institutions around the world. Together with his wife Ingeborg, Rennert has endowed chairs at several prestigious universities, including a chair in Jewish Studies at Barnard College and in Aging Research at Albert Einstein College of Medicine. One of his most notable contributions was the establishment of the Wiesel Center for Jewish Studies at Boston University, in honor of Holocaust survivor and Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel. Rennert has also been a major benefactor of the Western Wall Heritage Foundation in Jerusalem, and the Visitor Center at the Western Wall is named after him and his wife. Rennert's philanthropy, however, extends beyond religious and cultural contributions. He has supported educational initiatives through the Rennert Entrepreneurial Institute at Yeshiva University and donated to the World Trade Center Memorial. These acts of charity provide a stark contrast to the public image of a hard-nosed businessman, offering a glimpse into the personal values that have guided his life. Ira Rennert's life is a study in contrasts. On the one hand, he is a self-made billionaire who rose from modest beginnings to build a business empire that spans multiple industries. On the other hand, his legacy is entangled with environmental controversies, corporate bankruptcies, and legal disputes. For some, Rennert is the epitome of American capitalism, using financial acumen to generate wealth on a massive scale. For others, he is emblematic of the moral quandaries that arise when personal fortune is built on the backs of struggling companies and environmental degradation. His philosophy of leveraging junk bonds and debt to build an empire has been both lauded and criticized. It exemplifies the kind of bold financial strategies that can result in great rewards but also great risks. Rennert's story serves as a cautionary tale for those who would follow in his footsteps. Success in business often comes with consequences, and the line between innovation and exploitation is a thin one. As Rennert approaches his later years, the question remains, what will become of the Renco Group? Under the leadership of his son, Ira Rennert, the company continues to operate, although the landscape of the industrial sector has changed. The future of Renco may lie in its ability to adapt to modern challenges, particularly as environmental, social, and corporate governance (ESG) factors become increasingly important in the global marketplace. Despite the controversies, Rennert's impact on the industries in which he operates is undeniable. From the military vehicles produced by AM General to the raw materials supplied by Doe Run and US Magnesium, his companies have played pivotal roles in shaping sectors essential to national security and industrial growth. Whether history will remember him as a titan of industry or a cautionary figure remains to be seen, but his influence is certain to endure. Ira Rennert's life is a complex narrative of ambition, wealth, and controversy. His rise from a Brooklyn neighborhood to one of the richest men in America is a testament to his relentless drive and business savvy. Yet his story is also a reminder of the darker side of wealth, of the environmental and ethical challenges that come with it. For Rennert, the legacy of his life's work is one that will continue to be debated, a footprint too large to ignore.